Our first stop takes us to the bustling heart of America in the 1930s, to Chicago, Illinois. It's here, along Archer Avenue, that one of the most famous and frequently cited spectral hitchhikers makes her eternal journey. Her name is Resurrection Mary. The legend coalesced around the sprawling Resurrection Cemetery in Justice, a suburb just southwest of Chicago. In the mid-1930s, the O. Henry Ballroom, later renamed the Willowbrook Ballroom, was a popular hotspot, alive with big band music and dancing couples. The story goes that a young, beautiful woman with blonde hair, and often described as wearing a white party dress, would frequent the ballroom. One night, after an argument with her boyfriend, she stormed out, determined to walk home. But tragedy struck. She was hit by a car along Archer Avenue and killed. Her body was interred in Resurrection Cemetery, just a few miles away. And that's where her haunting began. Since 1939, countless motorists, especially young men leaving the ballroom late at night, have reported picking up Mary. She's described as being cold to the touch, quiet, and often complaining about the chill. She'd give directions, always ending near Resurrection Cemetery. The moment the driver pulled up, she would vanish. Some reports claim she would get out of the car, glide through the locked gates of Resurrection Cemetery, and disappear amongst the tombstones. What makes Mary's story so uniquely powerful isn't just the vanishing act, but the consistent, detailed encounters reported by multiple, unrelated witnesses over decades. One of the most famous reports came from a cab driver named Geri Cifelli in 1973. He swore he picked up a young woman matching Mary's description at a tavern on Archer Avenue. She asked to be driven down the road, and as they passed Resurrection Cemetery, she screamed, "Here, here!" before dissolving from the back seat. Cifelli was so shaken he crashed his cab. Other drivers have claimed that Mary would leave behind an icy chill or even burn marks on the upholstery where she sat. Some have seen her standing just inside the cemetery gates, waving at passing cars, only to disappear as they get closer. Perhaps the most eerie physical evidence lies with the gates themselves. For years, the iron bars of the gates were mysteriously bent and twisted outward, leading many to believe they were caused by Mary's frantic attempts to pull them open from the inside. Though they've since been repaired, the tales persist. Resurrection Mary is more than an urban legend. She's a cultural fixture. She embodies the classic spectral hitchhiker, a tragic figure forever tied to her last fatal journey, forever trying to reach a home she can never truly inhabit. Our next case takes us south to the deeply forested roads of Alabama, where the lingering specter of World War II sometimes still catches a ride. This is the legend of the Highway 66 ghost, a young soldier forever trying to go home. The story centers around a stretch of Highway 66 between Selma and Centerville, a route that winds through isolated woods and remote communities. The core of this legend dates back to the mid-20th century, a time when many young men were being deployed overseas for war. Drivers, usually late at night, have reported seeing a young man dressed in a military uniform, sometimes specifically identified as a 1942 uniform, standing by the roadside. He often appears disoriented or injured. They offer him a ride, and he accepts, quietly. He never speaks much, often just staring out the window, his face pale and drawn. When asked where he's going, he typically gives an address or a general direction towards his family home, or sometimes a military base that was once active in the area. As they approach the destination, usually within a few miles, the soldier simply vanishes from the back seat. The seatbelt is still buckled, the door closed. no trace. Unlike Resurrection Mary, where the core story involves a fatal accident, the Highway 66 soldier's tragedy is often tied to the heartbreak of war. He's believed to be a young man who either died overseas and is trying to make his way to his loved ones, or perhaps even died on that very road on his way home, never making it to his family. One particularly chilling account came from a couple in the 1960s. They were driving home late when they saw a young soldier by the side of the road, his uniform looking worn and dusty. They picked him up, noting how quiet he was and how cold his skin felt even on a warm night. He gave them an address in a small town nearby. As they drove, the couple discussed the war, but the soldier offered no input, only a few mumbled responses. When they reached the address, the husband turned to wake him, but the seat was empty. They were so unnerved that they actually went to the address. An elderly woman answered, and upon hearing their story and the description of the soldier, she broke down in tears. It was her son, who had been killed in action overseas and was buried in a military cemetery, never making it home. The Highway 66 soldier isn't just a ghost. He's a potent symbol of the untold losses of war, of the families left waiting, and of the young lives tragically cut short. He reminds us that even long after the battle's end, some soldiers are still fighting to come home, their spirits eternally bound to the roads that promised passage to their loved ones. From the lonely highways of America, we cross the Atlantic to the precise, engineered world of Switzerland, where a very different kind of spectral hitchhiker has been terrifying motorists for decades. This is the case of the Belchen Tunnel Ghost, an elderly woman whose appearances defy logic and leave drivers shaken to their core. The Belchen Tunnel is a 3.2-kilometer, 2-mile long motorway tunnel in the canton of Basel-Landschaft, connecting the Jura Mountains. It's a modern, well-maintained tunnel, opened in 1970, but its modernity hasn't shielded it from the supernatural. The first major reports of the Belchen Tunnel Ghost began in the early 1980s. Drivers, often traveling late at night, would encounter an elderly woman, typically dressed in white, standing by the side of the road just before or inside the tunnel. She would be waving for a ride. When picked up, she would typically sit in the back seat. Her demeanor is always quiet, frail, and somewhat cold. She rarely speaks or only utters a few cryptic sentences before her unsettling disappearance. One of the most famous and well-documented accounts occurred in 1983. A couple picked up an elderly woman in white just before the tunnel. She got into the back seat. During the drive through the long tunnel, the wife in the passenger seat turned to offer the woman a tissue. To her horror, the back seat was empty. She screamed, causing the husband to almost lose control of the car. They stopped, checked, but found no trace of the woman. The doors were locked, windows up. What makes this case so chilling is that it's not just one or two isolated incidents. Multiple independent witnesses have reported similar encounters over the years. Some drivers describe her as saying, "We have to be careful, they are coming for me," or "I am not well," and then, poof, gone. Unlike the previous cases with clear historical ties to specific accidents, the exact origin of the Belchen Tunnel Ghost is harder to pinpoint. There are theories. Some believe she is a victim of a fatal accident within the tunnel itself, a construction worker, or a passenger in a collision. Others suggest she is a time slip phenomenon, a fragment of someone from another era. The tunnel's confined space, the repetitive lighting, and the slight disorientation many drivers feel inside it might contribute to the psychological impact, but the sheer consistency of the sightings points to something more. The Belchen Tunnel Ghost represents a different kind of spectral hitchhiker, one less tied to a specific tragedy and more to a pervasive sense of unease within a modern, man-made structure. She is the ghost in the machine, a reminder that even in our most controlled environments, the unknown can still find a way to manifest. Our final destination brings us back to the United States, but to a much more contemporary setting, highlighting that these phenomena are not just relics of the past. This is the unsettling case of the Grandview On-Ramp Ghost in Golden, Colorado, a spectral hitchhiker whose appearances are a stark reminder of tragedy that is still relatively fresh. The story centers around an on-ramp to Highway 6 near Golden, a scenic route that winds through Clear Creek Canyon, eventually leading up into the Rocky Mountains. The area is known for its beautiful but sometimes treacherous driving conditions. This particular haunting is strongly linked to a tragic event, the death of a young woman named Geri Cifelli. On November 28, 1983, Geri, just 18 years old, was the passenger in a car driven by her boyfriend. The car went off the Grandview on-ramp, plunged into Clear Creek, and Geri drowned. Her boyfriend survived. Since her death, many drivers, particularly those traveling late at night, have reported seeing a young woman matching Geri's description, often blonde, wearing casual clothing consistent with the early 80s, standing on or near that very on-ramp. She appears distraught, soaking wet, or disoriented. Drivers offer her a ride. She gets in, usually in the passenger seat, but is often unresponsive or speaks only in mumbles. She almost always asks to be driven home to a specific address in Lakewood, which was Geri's actual home address. The chilling climax is familiar. As the driver approaches the address, or sometimes even before they reach it, they turn to speak to her, and the seat is empty. The doors are locked, windows up. She's gone. Many drivers, deeply unsettled, have gone to the given address, only to be met by Geri's grieving parents or relatives, who confirm that Geri died on that ramp decades ago. What makes the Grandview on-ramp ghost so poignant is its clear connection to a documented tragic event and the specific, consistent details of the young woman's appearance and destination. It's a fresh wound, still playing out on the very road where a life was tragically cut short. She is forever trying to go home, eternally lost on the road that claimed her. From the dance halls of Chicago to the tunnels of Switzerland, from the battlefields of World War II to a tragic on-ramp in Colorado, the spectral hitchhiker legend persists. These aren't just isolated incidents of mass hysteria. These are patterns, recurring narratives of the supernatural that defy easy explanation. They force us to confront uncomfortable questions. Are some roads truly haunted? Do our loved ones, lost too soon, try to cross back into our world? Or are these powerful collective expressions of our deepest fears, of loneliness, of sudden death, or the thin veil between life and what comes after? Have you ever had an encounter with the unknown on the road? Tell us your chilling stories in the comments below. If you dared to journey with us tonight, please like this video and subscribe for more explorations into the strange and unexplained.